Can't call it.
Facts. I fuck with these shirts. These
I do
motherfuckers
too.
hard. Courtesy of yours truly. Dear Bill Flair.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mama Jackie too.
Shout out moms.
For sure.
Yeah, these go crazy. I like
The first edition.
You're right. Phase
First
one.
edition,
The Mark 1.
Right.
We got hoodies. The hoodies crispy. Yeah, I'm feeling these, man.
Yeah, all of the above.
Facts.
But yeah, this is episode 10.
10. Oh, the anniversary. We up. Yeah. Hey.
Right.
We
top
up.
10 list.
Yeah.
Facts. Like we should do that. We should do a top 10.
The top 10 what?
We could either do our top 10 episodes of
Yeah,
our.
we got 10
10
episodes.
Okay, so let's encourage this one to be number 1, and then look at the last 9. Like,
Alright. We coming with the list already. But yeah, this episode 10, the Family Footsteps podcast, man.
gang.
So we back again, man. We're gonna kick it off with a little history lesson from the Brainiac.
So I was talking about this with on Facebook. I like that a lot of people they tune in. They don't tune in publicly. Like sometimes they'll comment publicly, but a lot of times I get the most interaction privately. They be in the DMs like asking questions, and I like shit like that. But we were talking about World War II. So how much? What do y'all? So the conversation was basically like what our kind of direct retaliation was when Japan lied. They told the whole world that they wasn't gonna bomb us. We were neutral at this time. They still bombed us anyway. You know how? Yep. Do you know how much time went by before we responded?
I don't.
This was the cool. This was the cool story about it. So that happened, and America basically they didn't say anything. They almost acted like this didn't even happen. We don't. I like that the story gets told this way because it really put things into perspective. Like this is chess, not checkers.
Okay.
So the whole time they get bombed, they don't say nothing. They announce like obviously the world knows like okay, America was neutral and we just bombed them. They definitely are gonna hop in this war now. So now we gotta be prepared about them. But America, no, they not announcing to the world like, hey, it's up. What they secretly doing now, we know this. We just don't ever put 2 and 2 together. So you gotta think, what's going on at this time? Instead of announcing that they finna hop into the war, they put even more money, time, and attention into developing nuclear bombs. So they stay quiet the whole time. Citizens going crazy, the government going crazy. We like, what are we gonna do? What are we? Yeah, you're like, what? We just got bombed. Like citizens died.
On our land.
Mothers and children died. So they like, what are y'all doing? The government just going, we perfected. We out here, we live in Nevada where the first atomic bomb was created. So they out here going crazy, top secret. Yeah. They going bananas and randomly. So after the course of time, it's been over 3 years. Almost 4 years has passed before we finally respond.
4 years?
Almost 4 full years. We dropped the first bomb on Hiroshima, and 3 days later, that's when Nagasaki came. A second one. Boom, boom. Japan left the war a week later. Chestnut checkers. Like, do what you do. They killed like 13 people in Pearl Harbor, like whatever. We obliterated your whole country in 3 days. Boom, 3 days later, boom, a week from now, they like, all right. They were having deaths from radiation even after the initial blast.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody was dying. They're like, all right, fine. We leave the war. The war was over after that. Like almost literally over after that. America took over.
That's an atomic bomb. You suffer from that for
chestnut checkers. Right. You would get cancer in 10, 15 years. Facts.
All of that.
Yeah,
man. So that's dope as fuck that America's like, all right, we'll let y'all do that. We gon'
Right.
You got that, like you got it. They in the cut going crazy, like.
Right. Made them think they was doing
right.
Something.
Thinking y'all won the war, man.
Nah,
They on the offensive, and then next thing you know, in a week, y'all went from about to win the war, and a week later you quit and lose the war. Your whole side is about to win the war, and in a week that's no longer true. Jeez. That's a crazy story.
Obviously, that was effective. Y'all feel that was an appropriate response?
Appropriate. Yes, in the sense of a message needing to be sent, but no in the sense of most of the people killed were citizens.
Right.
Yeah. That's where morally, I kind of lose. Yeah, I was going to say morally, like,
it's bad, but Yeah, the message was definitely received.
Like it's not sweet over here, you know. Like you need that communicated to them.
It do suck that we hit civilians because it sucks for the civilians because they are, dare I say, innocent.
Yeah,
civilians don't have no say so in this, but at the same time, on the you know, I always talk about how government's got to play chess. You feel me? Like you really just moving pieces. You're not really thinking about every individual.
Yeah.
Like that message well received.
Facts.
Like,
message.
Fuck with us. Do not come here. Like,
that's a fact.
Don't do it. Like ain't no telling what we gonna do to you. Just don't do it.
And that's one of the moments that defined what would eventually become America being the #1 dominant power of the world. So like if that in and of itself in the war, it got a significant meaning. But just in terms of our country's history, like the world looked at that and went, oh.
Right.
We got guns, you know, like it's tanks, guns. It's like, okay, we can physically handle it. You got the Soviet Union, like there are other superpowers. But after America, Iran, Japan and Germany were the #1 countries in the world at this moment. So to see Japan fall so effortlessly, like the world got put on notice, like, okay. So then after World War II ended, everything America said, of course everybody gonna agree with, like, y'all see what they just did to Japan? Like, we're not gonna do that. That's not gonna be us.
Right.
And America became the #1 sole power of the world after that.
And that's why I think the marketing of America is so good, because here in America, we're thinking that like we have this sense of entitlement or superiority when discussing other countries. But like we really,
it's called American exceptionalism. They think they're better at everything.
Yeah.
Like
we're really like
true.
cold-blooded. Like, we're really like super immoral in a lot of shit that we do, like with drone strikes and all type of shit. And then I don't know, I think it's probably like that in most countries where in school you learn that sense of nationalism or patriotism, whatever it is. But that's crazy. Like do you think other countries just think about the fact that we pulled the trigger first with atomic warfare? Like,
do you want to go first?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I was having this is a separate conversation a little while ago. I completely feel that the other countries feel like that. I was asking, I was like, we always talk about terrorism, and we say terrorists exist. We hate the Middle East. They're bad guys. They want to kill us.
We terrorists.
Why? Like we never say why. It's like they just woke up one day and was like, "F America, we want to kill you." No, they were regular citizens minding their business.
We always did some shit.
And America just came stomping through in the name of
always
freedom and democracy and obliterated our country. Y'all killed my mama. Y'all drone strikes killed our family. Like, we will never rock with Americans. Like, they don't ever tell that side of the story. It's like Saudi Arabia just woke up. Iranians just woke up like, man, we finna blow up everybody. It's not true. We literally blew up everybody and they just won't get back. They got grandparents that died at the hands of Americans. Like, oh, we were just talking about this. Beef with the Middle East go back to the 40s. Like, all us. That's not even the politics that we influencing. You know, like the 70s. Our economy was real bad in the 70s because we was influencing a war that they had nothing to do with us. Us directly, we've been having beef since the 40s. And it's like, that's generations ago. Your grandparents was probably born in like the 40s, the 30s and 40s. So it's like, they got grandparents, they got parents, they got uncles. Every type of family member you can name, somebody got somebody that died at American hands, American bullets, and y'all said y'all was coming here to protect us. And my family is ripped apart because of y'all. Like in one of the Avengers movies, Tony Stark, he a billionaire, he make weapons and stuff, but the Middle East, they don't rock with him because they like, you think you a hero, but our country got blew up by your weapons. The weapons you made.
Right.
You ain't the big cool billionaire to us. We want your head. Like, it's not sweet. Like, I feel like that's the same type of thing. I feel like other countries absolutely look at, we are Tony Stark in that regard. The world looks at us as, we don't like you as much as you think we like you. Like,
right. Yeah, that makes sense though. Like every country gonna tell a story from their perspective and to their advantage. You feel me? Like, of course, motherfuckers in the Middle East don't want they youngins growing up in school learning that America is, you feel me, like that we that, you feel me?
Right.
Everything they do to, like, who would ever teach that everything they do to us is justified? Like, that don't even sound
right.
You know, never teach that.
that sounds crazy.
That's
Like,
yeah, you don't never teach that. So
they teaching that in the South about slavery. In Utah, they teaching that slavery was justified, was morally right. No. Mr. K put me onto this. You remember Mr. K? He put me onto this, bro. He showed me. I kid you not. He actually broke it down. He proved this to me. They are genuinely convincing kids in all South schools up to
Utah, South though.
Huh? No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Up to Utah. Like if that's approaching the West, that's just how bad the problem is. It's exceeding just the South. That people are little kids are being taught that slave owners were nice to slaves, that they got them food and what. Bro, Google this. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I read about it. And he put me on game. It is 100% true. They are teaching the world that slavery was okay. Google it. It is. You wouldn't believe it because you went to a black school. Go. It is.
There is no.
Google it.
There's no way.
Google it. It is in textbooks. It is in textbooks. It is in standardized tests. I couldn't believe it.
There no black kids in this class.
The black kids is how it's going viral. They the ones like, look at this. Like, look, like they getting pieces. Some little girl won an award at a Texas elementary school for like most likely to have nappy hair. It is posted. You wouldn't believe it if it wasn't going viral for millions of people to see. It's one of those situations. It sounds crazy until you see somebody posted it on Instagram and it went viral and somebody literally had this happen to them.
Okay, and
it is getting that crazy.
Are we in a uproar? Like I'm upset right now.
They letting it rock. Ain't nobody doing nothing about stuff like because they don't know. Just like I was news to you, most people ain't hearing about this stuff. I didn't know until I had a conversation about it. I was defending it, just like you. Like that's not going on. Somebody, I had it proved to me like it's being taught in my school today as we speak. See, and so I can't argue with that nigga at that point. Like
that's the type of shit. That's the type of shit that these activists and shit should be like really getting behind.
Right?
Pushing
Why?
Shit. Like,
why?
We waiting until a nigga get killed by somebody to try to be activists. Like, oh, we need to jump on that. Like them the racist white people that's growing up and
Facts.
You like thinking it's okay to put their neck on, put their knee on niggas' necks and shoot people and all of that.
Facts.
Like that's crazy. I don't even believe it. I'm gonna look at it later, but right now I don't believe that
going
that
on
can
in the world
even be true right now.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Imagine reading that, bro, as a black kid. Imagine them telling you that slavery was
they cannot do that
morally. I'm talking about. I'm not suggesting the phrase morally justified. I'm talking about the homework and the PowerPoint says morally just like they are literally using that wordage that it was okay.
Never.
It wasn't that bad. So that not all slave owners beat their slaves. A lot of them gave them food and clothes and house. I read it, bro. I couldn't believe it. I literally felt like my life was a scam.
Like they were doing us a favor.
They making it seem like slavery prolonged American economy. It made the economy better and it made the quality of life so much greater. It was like that. It would make a white kid feel like, maybe slavery wasn't as bad as those
and out of context,
ones yelling say.
Like, you feel me?
It would poison a kid's mind.
It obviously was the economy. Like, it obviously made the economy better.
Yeah, that's not necessarily wrong.
It's hard to argue against, like, if you don't know all the facts.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it did improve the
economy.
Yeah.
And so if you're a little kid, a little 12-year-old hearing this, you're going to be convinced, slavery was necessary. We needed it. America wouldn't be America without slavery. Like,
why are we not doing this?
Right. We need to go back because technically we had our greatest economic prosperity during a time that coincided with slavery. So yeah, it's not a lie, but
imagine
like saying Hitler was a genius.
Mr. Stockley,
yeah, he was, but
imagine Mr. Stockley in class trying to teach somebody that would have
we would have had his head. Stockley was our white history teacher. We actually loved him. That was our dog. But if he ever would have tried something like that, we would have had his head.
He had the wrong group.
Yeah, not this class. Not this class.
Facts. No, big facts.
Maybe next year.
Big facts. No,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. That's hard to believe, bro. Like,
well, I mean, not really. Like, it goes back to the last discussion we had about
the world.
Like, wherever you are, they're gonna teach you about all the wins they had, not all the losses. So in the South, that was one of their wins. Until a point.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I don't even know what to say about that. That's just crazy. But while we talking about schools and all of that, though, did y'all see that they changed the SAT? Y'all both
it's online now, right?
The SAT?
Yeah.
Y'all both took the SAT. It's like, you do it like online now on the tablet. It's shorter. and I guess it's supposed to be like more simple.
Yeah.
That shit was a big deal. I don't know if it's still a huge deal as you graduate high school and trying to go to college, but it was a big deal for us.
Yeah, it's less now. I actually saw a couple schools when COVID was at its peak. A lot of schools started pulling back that qualification on the application. Like you don't got to necessarily submit that. So
they're doing it all across the board. Like now, you just have to have a high school diploma to be a substitute teacher.
Yeah, and you can earn credit while working at a casino. You can earn high school and college credit working at a casino. And can also.
Is that a Nevada thing?
That is a Nevada law that had just passed. Like,
that's so stupid,
that is so Nevada. Like,
that's so Nevada. Y'all know we are ranked the second to last
in education. We've been that for at least 20 to 30 years.
Bro.
That's nothing new. We have been last or second to last
since
we've been in school, since we was little ass kids. That is a thing.
51st. We were after Puerto Rico.
Yep. That was 1 year. We finished behind Mississippi 1 year, Alabama 1 year. That is a thing. We are religiously in the bottom 5.
We wonder why. You can't work at a casino and get a career. Like, I mean, this is Nevada. This is Las Vegas. This is the what is that field called? The hospitality. You feel me? Center of the world. You feel me? So. Growing up in Las Vegas, like you automatically gonna get pushed towards those type of jobs. Like they want you to work in the hotels.
UNLV got a hotel management.
Degree. That's what I'm saying. This is the place to go for hospitality. Like that is our main output. Like that's the field we try to push everybody into.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's Vegas for you though.
It's Vegas for sure.
Somebody's gonna do it.
Facts.
Somebody got to do it.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I'm not mad at that. It's gonna play jobs.
That's the offset though is that. We last, you feel me, in education, like, because we that desperate about getting people to just work.
Either that or the military.
You feel me, like, we so desperate to get people to work in the hotel that we willing to sacrifice the actual education of our kids, you feel me, growing up, like, what happened to be whatever you want to be what you can be, you feel me, be the best you could be, go be the president if you want to, like.
But just how we was just talking about slavery being a pride of the South, so was working. Remember, they didn't want college. They didn't want formal schooling. They was against grade school, going up to 12th grade and all that. Thomas Jefferson said, dog, farm.
Right.
Fuck school. College is not a thing here. Farm. That's why the North looks so different. It has all these cool buildings. Most colleges are not in the South, and the South has most of the land. It's like, you can kind of see the differences. They stuck to it, like,
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all.
Your lane, you feel me? Like if you don't want to, if school not your thing, you ain't trying to be them to get educated on the higher levels or whatever. Go get you a trade.
Facts. Go get you a skill.
Go get a skill, bro. Go. What's this shit called? HVAC, doing the heating, the plumbing. All them trades, go get you a trade. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Them motherfuckers make bread.
People need to be pushed towards that.
They make good bread.
The cost of college would collapse if enough people were encouraged to go to trade school. Because the man would be like, oh, I don't need this. I could go here for way cheaper. Trade school is nowhere near as expensive as college. Way less time. You only need 4 years. You could be knowing absolutely nothing about plumbing, be an apprentice for 6-7 months, and make $75,000 in a year.
You can start your own.
Facts, literally, you can start your own business.
You feel me? You in the game? Get you a truck.
Long as people take shits, people toilets no break. You got a job forever, like literally, a job forever.
No, that's a fact. There ain't nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I just don't know if that should be like. As far as Vegas go with the hospitality, like I don't know if we should be like pushing everybody to like fuck. We shouldn't. It shouldn't be at the risk of fuck your education.
Yeah.
I mean, like we relax. Like that's a problem. We passing laws that work. What is it? Working at the hotel.
You can earn credit working at a working on the strip.
High school credit.
You can earn high school and college credit working on the strip.
That's crazy, and that passed. That's official.
That is a thing.
That is official.
I don't know if it passed to be effective immediately. It passed to be passed though. Like it is going to be, if not immediately implemented right now.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Crazy.
Also, I wanted to ask y'all about So we pulled out of Afghanistan and all of that, right? So now that the Taliban is taking over, we was giving them aid and all of that type of stuff, and we down there told them we would keep giving them aid if they held up their promises to uphold women's rights and a couple other points, but obviously they didn't, so those funds are frozen. But I've seen that the victims from 9/11, the families of the victims from 9/11 are asking for those frozen funds, like billions of dollars, as like a reparation type of thing. Like, how y'all feel about that?
Are you asking,
Like,
should they get reparations?
Are they deserving of that?
I feel like it would be too costly to do your due diligence to thoroughly determine who is rightfully deserving of the money. That process would be so costly. Cause I personally would feel like ain't nobody finna just say they need some money. I need to see who was truly affected by. If you're 10 years old or you're 16, 9/11 didn't affect you. Nothing that happened in 9/11 directly affected you. You could have lost somebody, but I mean, like, you weren't born to be affected by this. Somebody who's 42 and lost a spouse, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
if your parent not alive, you feel me?
Yeah, if you lose a parent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say if you were indirectly, like that's different. But as opposed to somebody who has zero type of effect, because if you don't do your due diligence, then anybody can come out and say that they were affected by it. We were all born before 9/11. We could all say we were affected by 9/11 if nobody is going to thoroughly find out who was affected or not. Like, if
how do you determine effect?
Exactly. That's the tough part. It's gonna be too costly.
I'm asking that because
you would have to come up with such a process.
Say the same thing about people asking for reparations for slavery. Like, you think there should be no.
Low key, bro.
I should ask this.
I knew this is where it was headed.
Nigga.
As soon as I heard reparations.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, black people deserve reparations.
Yeah, give me all 48.
Are we ever gonna get them? No. So for that reason, should we shut the hell up and move on with our lives? Yes.
So I don't want nobody getting. I don't want them getting reparations either.
I agree.
Now, but see how we divided ourselves within the country. Fuck
Fuck them. Yeah.
See how that's our 7 billion or whatever.
But that's I feel that, you know, like black people are always gonna feel like we deserve it, and we do. Yeah. That's the issue.
That's
we do.
We shouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, come on.
We should keep complaining
about it.
But
what does it do?
We should everybody aware.
By this logic, we should have gotten reparations 200 years ago. So that's why I'm saying we should shut the fuck up. If it was 1932, I'd be like, let's go ride on these niggas right now. But in 2022, there has been so many generations removed as like we had this one conversation where I said racism and discrimination absolutely still exist today. They absolutely still handicap black people universally.
You just told us about the schools in Utah.
But is it as impactful as it used to be? Black people today aren't as handicapped as they were in 1830. I feel like white supremacy was more of a hindrance to the average black person in 1830 than now. You can go walk into the gas station. You can go get a car. You can go get a job, whereas 200 years ago, you didn't have the ease of that ability, the lack of effort that it takes.
That. It's still psychological. You just told us they teaching niggas in certain states.
I agree, but
that affects you.
Yeah, but I'm not saying right. But that's why I didn't say it's not impactful. I'm saying it's not as do you think that the average black person that wakes up is as fucked up about slavery?
Off the reparations or something?
No.
Percentage off because we still.
But what I'm saying, do you think that the average black person today? If the average black man, remember, when you walking down the street, you pulling up the Dutch Bros will get you drug out your car and lynched. Like, literally. So
not lynched, but I could get pulled over on the way for sure.
Yeah, but
get arrested for no fucking reason.
But the likelihood is way less than that happening. I'm willing to bet if I gave you 7 straight days to encounter a cop or not, in 5 or 6 of those days you probably wouldn't. So that's what I'm saying. Whereas in 1830, they gonna hound your ass multiple times a day, every single one of those days, if they catch you walking down the street. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's still impactful. It's not as effective. So if we can come to the conclusion that racism and discrimination aren't as impactful as they used to be, then that means we have done something right that is benefiting us. The average person can get up and go create wealth for themselves. They can get up and go do something for themselves that somebody who was just a slave could not. Somebody who was just a slave, like, I'm broken. I don't know what I'm finna do out here. Like, I don't know nothing. Whereas today we're more educated, we got more resources, we have less constraints. We're like, reparations should have been for them because they would have needed it. The average black person today, The average, yes, there are some black people that are really messed up. The average black person on my Facebook, do they really need an extra $10,000? For what? What did you go through? What have you done? You're financially illiterate. You're not striving for more skills. You're not doing nothing. You're trying to survive in life. Yeah, cool. But if we're going to give you $10,000 off the strength of trying to survive in life, then we should give everybody in the world $10,000 because everybody wants to survive in life.
No, man.
I don't feel like we need a bunch of other shit before reparations. I think that's my mindset. I'm not even anti-reparation. That should be the least of our fucking problems right now. Reparations ain't gonna fix gang violence. It ain't gonna fix drug problems.
Fixing whatever. Give me my bread. You owe me that at least off the string. Like
true, but then we ask the question of all of that for what? If the money's gone, just like we just got the $1,200 stimulus.
Just so we can get over
the
this.
world is now broke.
Give us that.
Do you think black people are really gonna get over that though?
We need to.
Do you think niggas is gonna get over that?
Get that shit out the way.
Do you think what amount of money do you think not only would the government realistically give, but what would suffice for niggas to seriously give it up and shut up about reparations?
Every living black man and woman, you feel me? Cancel all our student debt type shit or something like that.
I'm not opposed to that.
I cancel that. Period.
What are the other races gonna have to say about that?
I don't give a damn. Y'all wasn't slaves. We had motherfucker. Fuck y'all.
I agree. But some were.
We need to get that
some
out the
were.
way.
Mexicans were slaves. Jews were slaves.
Bro, but we talking about
in America. We could talk about in America.
We talking about the 400 years of black slavery. You feel me? Yes, there were shit. White people were slaves.
Yeah, that's true. But by that extent, hold on. Let me say this real quick. White people absolutely were slaves. They were called Guldans. It's Guldan, and you know who the fuck enslaved them? Africans. So by that logic, white people could look at us and say, "Why the fuck y'all bitching about slavery when in the 1200s we was y'all slaves? In the 1500s, we was y'all slaves. Why would a white person be wrong for that?
They didn't build America.
It don't matter. We talking about slavery. We ain't talking about building. We ain't talking about building America. We talking about slavery.
That's part of the reparations.
But why shouldn't white people feel like they deserve reparations then? Because they were slaves hundreds of years before us.
They didn't build shit.
But they were slaves before there even was in America. White people were slaves to black people. That does matter. As a response to what you just said, that does matter. You said they wasn't slaves to America. Yes, they were.
It does not matter, bro. We built America off the labor.
I'm not caping for white people. I'm defending what you just said. Directly what you just said. That we can't feel that way if they were slaves hundreds of years before us, but we feel entitled to reparations. That's a little bit hypocritical.
No, you playing.
We can enslave y'all, but y'all can't enslave. But no, okay, let's take races out of it and let's just be logical thinking human beings. You can do something to me, but I can't do something to you. That's literally what you're saying is totally okay.
I know. I'm not even about to
take race out of it. Take race out of it. What's wrong with that statement? What's wrong with it? That's what you're saying.
You bugging out, bro.
You said this. I didn't say this.
I didn't say shit. You bugging out.
Okay, what's wrong with that statement?
What I'm saying. You bugging
what's
out.
wrong with that statement? Should white people be entitled to reparations? That's a new question. Should white people be entitled to reparations?
Every time we have a race conversation, the first thing this nigga say when I like, you feel me, provide another point or something, I only care about black people. I ain't black. I only care about.
Okay, then say that. I can't argue that. You didn't say that. I can totally agree with that
That's
point.
always your standpoint, so I don't even understand where this argument is coming from. If that's always your standpoint, is that you care about black people.
I mean, my point is
talking about the 400 years of black people being enslaved.
Okay. The reason that I'm arguing a different point is because of how it has handicapped us. Yes, I only care about black people, but I care so much. Why wouldn't I be against something that's handicapping us? I could care about black people so much and still view that our desire for reparations is handicapping us. We want free money for the government more than we want to take care of our kids, more than we want to not break the law, more than we want to strive to do better. That's statistically true. That's what I'm saying. I could care about black people and still feel like
we want free money from the government more than we want the government taking money from us.
I agree. I agree with that.
Like, we
100% agree.
We should get reparations. I ain't saying it's the end all be all. It's gonna solve everything, but that's the very least you can do so we can get that out the way. You feel me? Like if that's the one thing black people are asking for from you, like just give us reparations. You feel me? Then we can possibly move on. You can do that for us.
My point is this. Well, that's why I said it. Do you think black people would genuinely shut up about it?
We wouldn't have no choice.
First of all, is every single black person on earth gonna get reparations?
No, you got homeless people and other people that's not gonna be. You feel me? That just
so those people are gonna have an issue with it.
Shit.
I'm black and I didn't get reparations. What about the black people that did? Now there's a divide there.
You gonna make your way to that office, to that Social Security office, and you gonna better go get you.
But by that same logic, then black people in mass should do that.
Go get your shit.
Go get it. We shouldn't just get it. Go get it. Go take it.
It's not there for
go
us.
Storm the Capitol.
You act like it's not there. No, all right. Then
You telling homeless people to go storm an office that the money ain't there to go get? You just said they could go storm the office. What did he just say, Melajin?
He just go to the Social Security office and get
where there's no money. What is homeless people gonna do to get reparations when there's no money?
The only reason I said that, if you keeping up and listening, the only reason I said that is because you said there are certain people who won't be able to get that money. I said, yeah, maybe like homeless people.
But it's not limited to them.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
it may be like homeless people who don't have addresses or something. I'll say it would be up to them to make their way to the Social Security office to get what's owed to them. If the money is already there, go to the Social Security office and get it.
Oh, okay, so that matters. So the money's already there then.
Them to storm the
that's different. That's assuming that's not the same scenario as the money isn't there and they need to figure out who to press to go get it. That's different than the money is at that location and you just need to go there to get it. Those are two different scenarios. I agree with that scenario.
White people too much.
I'm not arguing for any white people at all. I didn't argue for any white people at all.
This whole time you've been arguing.
How? What exactly did I argue for white people?
We were slaves too, so give us some shit. Fuck.
I said, what if a white person said that to you? Are they wrong?
I'm gonna knock his. What?
I didn't. Okay, then that's your response. I just asked a question about it though.
If he said that,
they can say that, can't they? I didn't say they were right. I literally explicitly said I wouldn't give white people reparations. That doesn't stop me from being able to ask the question though. If they were slaves hundreds of years before us, and when they were slaves, there wasn't even an America or a United States of America. This is before the colonies, before all of that shit. This is the 11th. Yo, what the fuck? That was Charles. Oh my God, we are totally. Oh. Did you just see that? Oh my God. Sorry guys, we just saw one of our high school homies on TV. That was crazy. I thought I was tripping. I was like,
no,
yo, like, you saw that, right? That was definitely Charles.
I didn't see it the first time, but when you rewound it, I saw that.
I caught the tail end of it, like literally as I blinked.
I don't know how you caught that.
I just looked away. I was like, yo.
So what he showed me, somebody we went to high school with, played basketball with him, all of that. He's a car salesman now, and he is on the commercial for the dealership right now. So that's just kind of crazy. That just caught us off guard.
Facts.
The Lexus dealership, like, that's somebody we went to school with on the TV, like on the internet, like a countrywide commercial right
Facts.
now. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That was crazy. That was dope. Dang. Well, I don't even know what I was saying.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Get that black man a raise on TV.
Man, oh.
Get that black
I'm going to tag him on Facebook later. You know, we saw that. That was crazy.
Get that black man a raise.
Shout out to Charles.
Man, you see they putting us in commercials and shit.
Right.
Lexus dealership.
See, in the 1830s, that would have been no thing. Man, they ain't putting us in no commercial.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. That shit just threw me off.
Yeah, I literally forgot what I was about to say. Like, to see him in a commercial, I'm like, wow. That's really cool.
So, to the original point, though, you don't think that the 9/11 victims should get those funds? Just yes or no?
Yeah, if I have to give a simple yes or no, no.
No. You think they should get it? No.
No. Do you?
No. I mean, I don't blame them for putting their claim in.
Right.
Like, shit, at least think about me. I'm an option over here.
Why do you think they shouldn't?
Why do I think they shouldn't? Because, like...
You too. I'm going to ask you next.
I'm going to be selfish because we
ain't got them. I can't disagree with that.
The funds wasn't there. They
there's a pecking order.
Set aside those funds for you.
Yeah.
And that's way more funds than you probably would get if we did decide to give y'all reparations. We wouldn't give y'all the whole $7 billion that we were set to give Afghanistan in aid. I don't know if that's the exact number, but something like that.
Right.
That we were set to give them in aid. Like, we're not giving you all of that. Like, no, what you don't. Yeah. You don't even know what to do with that. I feel that. Like, fuck out of here. Give it. I say give it to us. Shit, y'all worry about aid in Afghanistan.
Down.
Aid us. Shit, aid us domestically. Shit, give black people a little change. Well, we could do something with 7Bs. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to hear all that. What we gonna do? We gonna do something with 7Bs.
What do you think? Well, why don't you think they should get the funds? Is it the same reason?
The same reason. Get in line.
Yeah.
It's like we've been waiting at a roller coaster. Then people pass us,
right.
And then they just got in line. Right. Okay, wait your turn.
Facts. So now, so my question is this: what amount of money? So let's say let's say black people make up like less than 13% of our population, but I don't know how many black people there are. Let's say there were 50 million black people. Like working adults, not kids, and eligible adults, 50 million. Right. What amount of money, like let's say the government could actually reach all 50 million. It's a foregone conclusion, 50 million black people are gonna get some money. Yep. What amount of money would each of them have to individually get for black people to collectively feel like, okay, this is cool? And and the number might even be 75 million. Let's say that's the amount of number that can, like, relative to our real population in America, whatever number that is, they could realistically hit close to that amount of adults. Individually,
go ahead.
Is it 10 bands? Is it 100 bands? Like, nobody's gonna be opposed to 100 bands, obviously. But individually, if you got this much money, you feel like, okay, I could, like Colin Kaepernick, you gonna take this deal and never speak about football again. You gonna black people, you gonna take this money and never speak about reparations again.
You don't get to give me no stipulations with my bread though. Like.
Okay. Let's do that. But let's say that's like the vibe of it. Like I they didn't tell me this. I low key feel like this. Right. Shit, like, I'm cool with this. I'm cool. Shit, y'all ain't gotta hear my mouth no more. Let's say that's the vibe. What amount of money would that be for an individual?
Let me go first.
Every individual though. Does that include like if you're already a part of? Like, say you're married, would the married couple get
they
the same?
Still entitled individually that same amount. Yep.
Okay.
And you could hit every adult that count.
Right. How much would you want? Shit.
I think $1 million would be cool.
$1 million
per
each?
person?
Yeah.
Sheesh. For 50 million people?
Hey, they definitely not doing that.
Yeah.
that would it would ruin.
That is. They are giving us the deed and the keys to America. Like,
literally,
it's your turn.
That amount of money has to work out to like $50 trillion or something like
it's
that.
your turn.
Yeah,
okay.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Black people ain't gonna turn nothing down.
I'll
take that.
That's crazy.
How you worded the question, like.
No, that's a real answer. I'll take that.
Everybody, like, if for everybody to go ahead and okay,
right.
I'm not complaining about reparations. I think $1 million would be the amount that every single.
I feel that.
Facts.
I need that.
Facts. No, I mean, shit, I can't disagree with that.
Right.
I definitely take
me $1 million facts.
You counting the taxes, you counting
all
kinds of debt.
I don't have a number because I think the way that reparations should work is I don't think they should give it out individually. I feel like I don't know if this organization or company or whatever already exists, but we should have, you feel me, a black
like a committee,
the black headquarters, nigga, the black HQ. You feel me? Like give them the money, you feel me, and they do with the money they do. Big shit with the money, like, because collectively with the money we can do a lot. Because if we give it to everybody individually, we know like how little dollars stay in the black community. You feel me? Like how we spend it, we gonna give it away.
I said that. You said fuck the impact of the money.
Okay, listen. But so with that being said, that's what I'm saying. Don't give it to individuals, because collectively we can really do things with it. Like now, we got this huge lump sum of cash. We could do whatever is necessary, whatever we decide as a community is necessary, whether that be community centers, whether that be our own schools, you feel me, Dr. Umar donation, whether that be, you feel me, whatever, you programs, whatever, it's for at our discretion, you feel me, and y'all don't get the opportunity to block nothing we trying to do, you feel me?
I don't know
what you was gonna say. Black people wouldn't hoorah for some shit like that.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I don't know if
could we get that many people on board.
Yeah, I don't know if we could all. I mean, if I understand if we had like elections and stuff, like we all.
It might have to be that for us to make that. That's why I said I don't think this thing already exists. Mm-hmm. But we could build. We would have to build something. You feel me? Elect the people who we want to be running, and we still want some say. So we want to vote for. Even after we elect you, we want to vote like this. Or we all agree we gonna do this. Right. We gonna put this in Chicago. We gonna put this there. We gonna put this there. We gonna. You feel me? We damn near build up our own black. You feel me?
And just thinking,
network and shit.
I'm just thinking of us as humans. Like, you put a bunch of humans together and you give them a bunch of money. Do you really think they're gonna do like what's necessary
For
to
the
fix
collective.
things, or do you think they're gonna try to get theirs
Agreed.
while like sort of helping everybody else out, just like how America runs?
That was my point. Like,
I'd rather that money be in the hands of the black people though than of the total, you feel me, American government though.
I agree with that, but it's hard for people in general to care about the group. Like, if I got 10 bands, you got 10 bands, you got 10 bands, neither of you two have a less likely chance of convincing me to throw my 10 bands into something that benefits all three of us. As opposed to,
my point,
no, but what I'm saying, why would people vote for that though? If I know I would rather have 10 bands in my pocket than somebody else take my 10 bands and put it in a group pool for a new park, why would people even vote for that? When I could take my 10 bands and go buy me a new car or a new TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, the selfishness in people, the self-preservation in people, I feel like would prohibit that. I agree with the mentality. I wish people woke up and was like, man, we need to pull our money together. We could really do something crazy. I wish people woke up with that. But the fact that they don't is because everybody's not necessarily selfish. It's just they're tied up in their own wants and needs, their own personal interests.
You feel me? If the government really cares about the black community or whatever, like you feel me? Like, I'm just saying, if I was in charge, you asked us, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
If it was up to us, how much money or whatever, how we would do it. I'm just saying that's what I feel would be best. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because like you said, of course, individuals gonna want their 10 bands or whatever type shit. Like, but fuck the individual. I'm coming from a perspective of fuck the individual. Like, that reparations might not be for me. You feel me? Like, I got that mindset now. When I wake up at 4 in the morning every day, I'm grinding. That bread it's not necessarily. I'm not thinking that's for me. You feel me? Like, I'm building something.
Right.
You feel me? So I think the money just needs to be collective. You feel me? Collectively allocated to build shit that is going to impact the black community for generations to come, as opposed to this one individual.
Right.
That's because that's more effective when you talk about reparations. You feel me? Building something in your community that's going to affect change for generations to come, as opposed to paying you right now. What about the next generation? What about your kids? We gonna just give reparations to every kid as they grow up? Like, no, that's a one-time right now thing, as opposed to building something in your community for generations to come. So that's just my perspective.
That and exactly what you just said was kind of not my point against reparations, but it was why I felt like it's so unlikely that we should get by it. Because yes, we should feel like, okay, this money is for a generation. This has to last people that aren't alive yet. You know, this has to be turned into more. People don't think like that, and it is a psychological thing. It is a generation. It's a cycle that's very hard to break, to get people to stop thinking like that. But because they think like that, as soon as they get reparations, the money will be gone. And I also want to ask about the economic impact of it, because we know that there is one that we totally need to address if we would seriously entertain a conversation about reparations. Like, we can't live in a fairy tale world and say everybody gets $1 million and not live in a real world where what does that look like in reality? And I feel like
$1 million dispersed over a period of time, as opposed to just giving out lump sums.
Yeah, but
soften the impact already.
True, but it's still largely contingent on people's spending habits. Like people are gonna spend when they spend, no matter when they get the money.
No. If you only give them a certain amount at a time, you feel me? You are already effectively limiting their spending capabilities. You feel me? If you give a nigga $1 million lump sum, you go buy a Lamborghini or a McLaren or something. Versus if we giving you $2,000 to $5,000 disbursements over your lifetime, you feel me? You feel me? That's like your spending habits gonna be your spending habits, but it's based off of what's in your bank account at the end of the day, or what's in your pocket.
That's true.
So we don't flood you with so much money at once. You feel me? Obviously, the spending impact is gonna be softened. Is it existing still? Yes, obviously, but obviously there's going to be an impact. But I'm just giving away that it can be softened.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I feel like people don't care about generational wealth. You know, that's a term that we hear on Instagram, and it sounds super fucking cool. But day to day, not even black people, I mean people, the world, they don't give a fuck about generational wealth. Nobody is waking up saying, okay.
I don't know if I think that's black people for sure.
What? That they are caring about generational wealth? or not.
You know, Jewish people and shit like that, they live on that generation.
Well, yeah. I'm saying more people than not have that mentality. Like, if most people had the mentality, there wouldn't be nearly as much debt as is actually in the world. If most people were like, this money I got now, I need to grow it and turn it into something that can produce me even more money. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a cycle of issues.
We collectively build those institutions for black people that teach that to us, that teach us the importance of generational wealth and shit. That's a long-term impact. Like, you might not see it today, but over the course of time, we will prove to have done the right thing.
Right. So do people need a crash course on generational wealth before they get reparations? Otherwise, we're gonna run into the problem of niggas getting that money and blowing it off on nothing because they don't yet understand the concept.
That question is based on the principle of individuals getting the reparations still, as opposed to like the community thing. You feel me?
So individuals would relinquish the individual right to money for a community.
In my scenario, you feel me?
No, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm making sure I understand it correctly.
His point of view, he said $1 million to every individual. That's one side of the coin. I'm saying from my end,
give it to a community. Let a committee decide act on behalf of the whole. Right. Okay.
And even just that conversation, like it's sad that we don't have that. You feel me? Like shit, they probably wouldn't even let us have no shit. You feel
that's
me?
true.
We try to build shit, they tear it down every you feel me? Just historically, so I don't like the NAACP, I guess, but they not really like
they ain't doing
that.
Like
that's old news.
The SCLC.
We need like an official, like this is our. You feel me? And that'll help with everything, politics and everything. Like it'll help us get behind. You feel me? Politicians as voters and shit like that. Like, you feel me? Like, cause I'm not really big on the Democrat Republican thing. Like, shit, whatever candidate the best candidate. You feel me? I'm rocking with. Like, any given year that could be whatever. You feel me? Like, so like you know, all black people know vote Democratic. You feel me? Like. But I feel like an institution like that, an organization like that, would do a whole bunch of different shit for us as a community.
Or even like a bank.
Like a bank, like Greenwood, the shit that Killer Mike started with, that's a black owned bank.
For real?
Doing their fucking thing. It's
that's
it's an online only bank, an app, you feel me, online. Founded by all black people, you feel me? It's for us buyers, you feel me?
I like that.
Doing it all, giving out loans, you feel me, savings, check-ins, doing everything.
That's dope. Yeah, it's easy to do. Kind of follow like a credit union blueprint. Like that's why I'm saying, like, in theory, like if we could get people on that, we would save black people immediately. If we could get together and click to pull our money together, that literally all our problems would be over immediately. But it's just so hard in practice because we are so discombobulated. Every tier of us at the best of us is disorganized. Like the worst of us is disorganized. The middle of us is disorganized. We have the least unity. You know, and that's what's necessary when it comes to kind of spearheading something like that. You know, and that's what makes me feel like I would rather everybody have that selfish mentality as opposed to the group mentality, because channeled the right way, everybody does rise, right? If everybody's focused on the group thing, there's going to be somebody who doesn't like that, somebody who's against it because they feel like they're benefiting less. But if your own actions are why you are benefiting less, then you're less likely to be kind of explicitly negative about certain things. If I gave you this money and said, prioritize yourself, do what you need to do to step your shit up, and I did that for all black people, at that moment, there's no more excuses for why we can't move on. But if we do some group shit, then somebody can say, nigga, I had to give my 10 bands to XYZ and I could have used that and got myself out of debt. You know, now somebody's being negative even though this thing is benefiting the group. They so selfish or caught up in what's directly impacting them, which is a debt. You know, fuck the group. Fuck that rec center. Fuck that perk. I'm broken in debt and I could have used that money to fix that. Somebody's going to feel like that.
It's just a matter of being unselfish, you feel me? Like, that's something I have to learn, you feel me? Being unselfish, like, that community center or that school or whatever we build gonna teach the next generation under you.
The game.
You won't never be in debt. You won't even be in that situation to begin with. So that's just selfishness. You feel me? That's pure selfishness.
That's why I asked, do people need to go through like a crash course about this shit? Because it's deeper than just give niggas reparations and the situation is fixed. We really got to think about like what comes of this. And I think that the fact that those conversations haven't been held because the people who can do it, they don't give a fuck. No senator, no House of Representatives actually caring about nothing that we talking about. Even though those are the people that could realistically change things.
Right.
And so it's like I think that's the reason why we don't have it is because it's too intricate of a situation. Like we gave slave owners reparations. We didn't give every single one reparations, but slave owners got reparations. Asians got reparations in the 40s and 50s. You know, so it certainly can be done. But those, it's so less of them than it is us that I think the people who could do it feel like it's unrealistic. It was easy to give white people reparations when there was only a handful of slave owners. It was easy when we only had a handful of Asians in internment camps. Mm-hmm. This is a whole ass mass of the really the world, but specifically America. Like, we gotta give all you niggas money. I think that's overwhelming for some people, and I think that's why it's never gotten done. Right. They don't care enough to make it realistic, so it's always gonna be unrealistic. Yeah. You know, like.
But even that's why another reason why it make more sense to do the group thing. You feel me? Like,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones who would be the decision makers. Yeah. They are the ones who don't know how to properly implement it. You know, like it's hard to do from the top down because the ones with the most pressure on doing it right are probably gonna do it wrong.
Yeah.
And they're a new issue. What if they do it wrong? They implement the reparations wrong. Now they're gonna deal with a super big hiccup. Remember, every penny that the government come up with is money coming from a citizen. Yeah. They don't got the money to just create and give it to us. But we're gonna be paying that shit back some way, shape, form, fashion. So what if niggas is going that route and the problem doesn't fix itself? Now you on the hook for a massive debt. And you got to come up with a new solution that's going to cost even more money to fix. If I got a $500 million issue, the solution has to be $500 million or $500 million in one. Yeah. You know, so like.
Obviously, we don't got all the answers right now, but it's just food for thought. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's a good conversation. It's food for thought. Like, we obviously can't come up with all the answers. Like, you could keep going deeper and deeper with it, but you feel me? Like. Man, break us off, son. That's all you right. Feel me? Sock it to my pocket, man. I'll take it at the end of the day. Before we move on, like the sports and all that, I got one more thing I wanted to get your opinion on. Because me and Julian, we was having a good-ass conversation. Mm-hmm. Maybe yesterday or the day before, you feel me, about everything. We was on the phone for a few hours, like, you feel me, like we was going in. But, one of the conversations we was having was about like gun laws in America and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then I seen, after we had that conversation, I seen in the news that San Jose has become the first city that is making it mandatory. If you own a firearm, you have to have insurance. You have to have another insurance, like for like liability, like a liability insurance. You feel me? If you use your gun, and it was one more thing with that too. It was one more thing in that law, but that officially passed. So basically, how y'all feel about, you feel me? I don't even know where y'all stand on guns or gun laws in general. You feel me? But so I guess that, and then how you feel about you having to be insured to carry a firearm.
You wanna go first?
I think it's responsible to have insurance for it because it is. I mean, you have to have insurance for a car. You could kill somebody with a car too.
Facts.
So, and I'm pro gun, by the way. I think. I don't have any guns right now, but I think every household should have at least 3 guns, like just a regular service pistol, a shotgun, obviously, just to protect the house. You won't have to use it. And then just a gun to mess around and experiment with, just so you know, like the engineering behind the gun.
Right.
But I do believe.
Mess around and experiment with while it's unloaded. And
yeah. Those are terrible words to say about a gun. Yeah. Don't mess around.
Safety.
Don't experiment.
This is why you need insurance.
Fact.
So
proper education.
Somebody won't safely mess around with the gun.
Right. I agree with that. I'm also pro gun. Niggas definitely should have guns. I feel like it is. If you are educated on this, it is facts that gun laws are not going to prevent gun violence. 2020 and 2021, Google it, had more gun laws passed than any other year preceding it. And it didn't put a dent in gun violence, police brutality, black on black crime, which isn't even really a thing. You know, like whatever level you want to look at it, gun laws do not protect gun violence. Ever. If a person has it in their mind to do something, they're going to do it. So for that reason, don't punish people who aren't, I had this conversation about banking. The regulations is not designed for the big banks. It's designed for small banks. The big banks get all the tax loopholes to where rules don't apply to them. These types of gun law regulations aren't meant to protect the good citizen. I mean, it's not meant to protect the bad citizen. It's meant to handicap the good citizen. The good citizen is the one who's reaping all the consequences of all these regulations. It's hard for them, right? I'm a good citizen who don't got no intention on killing nobody. You giving all these regulations to me because a criminal. Why would a criminal care about regulation, right? The law means nothing to a criminal. It's illegal to kill. So, if I'm going to kill somebody, it being illegal to kill is moot because it doesn't prohibit me from doing what I wanted to do. So I feel like gun laws are literally counterproductive. They are hurting the people that they are meant to help. You are handicapping people who aren't trying to shoot up a school. You're handicapping people who are trying to be law-abiding citizens. You're making it easier for people who are criminals. The more constraint you put on an economy, the more new ways people come up to avoid shit. When taxes first became a thing, the income tax first became a thing in the early 1900s, tax evasion became a brand new thing. Previously, there was no tax evasion because there was no fucking taxes. The government wasn't taxing, we not figuring ways how to bypass it. Now you got money laundering, you got all different types of tax evasion because, oh, you're going to take my money? Well, now I'm forced to create an environment where this isn't a thing. Necessity breeds that, innovation breeds necessity, like necessity breeds innovation. So now, like, you are creating a problem that you say you're fixing.
If you got a plan, we
like
got a scam.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're not helping. All of these credit card scams, banking is so intricate and complex. Why is Joe Schmo from down the street card scamming? He card cracking for $300K regularly because somebody's brain is gonna figure out how to bypass all this complexity. If there has to be a simple off button through everything that's complex. Have you ever seen Wrath of the Titans? It's a Greek mythology movie. The dude who built like the thing that the Minotaur is in, they was asking him like, how the hell did you even build that? Yeah, he was like, well, I had that. He said there's a secret loophole. Like, I built that thing from the inside out, so I had to make a secret way to get out. And it's a brilliant way. Like, he built this such complex thing that you would think is borderline impossible to get out. He tapped one little rock like 3 times and it did all these crazy unlocks and he got right out of it. It's like, that is our economy. You create something complex, somebody is going to create something real simple to bypass it. And I feel like as long as that's the economy, the way we are approaching gun laws is not going to change people killing people.
So let me say the whole thing before you keep going. So gun owners in San Jose, California will soon be required to carry liability insurance and to pay an annual fee that'll go towards suicide prevention and other safety programs intended to reduce gun violence.
I support the program, but I don't know that it will reach its target of reducing gun violence. In that specific area, who knows the impact? But in general, you could cause other problems. People who might not have the money. Right now I could go get a gun and then just leave it there. But now you're saying I gotta go get a gun and then 2 other places need money. Well, what if somebody now, like, I know this is unlikely, I'm playing like kind of devil's advocate a little bit. Like, what if somebody's now willing to go commit a new crime? Like, okay, well now I need to steal so I can get that extra money. I need to do X, Y, Z so I can get that extra money. Like, there could be an unintended domino. Again, it's unlikely, but that it has to be considered with shit like this. And there is a domino effect that could potentially exist. But I do agree with what they're doing. I think like this liability insurance is not that expensive. It's not expensive at all. It's the cheapest part of your actual insurance. Like in a car insurance, your liability, general liability is the cheapest. So assuming that same structure would apply towards a gun, which I assume it
wouldn't be much.
Yeah, like somebody gonna pay $30. Yeah, something like that. I could totally see that being feasible for people. And in that regard, I support that. Like, you wanna walk around with this, do X, Y, Z. Now, it does feed into the same point. Like I said, the law-abiding citizen don't need liability insurance because they intend on doing what's right. They intend on going about this the right way. So
I think the point of it is to make owning a gun
a little more safer.
A little safer, and then at the same time, like legally owning a gun is now that much more, like you said, more of a hassle for the
law-abiding citizen. The criminal, fuck that liability. The criminal not paying no liability insurance.
That's
so you passing that law, what is that gonna do? Because remember, the criminal is the nigga who's likely to shoot somebody. So that nigga is completely unaffected by the general liability, the fee.
Right, he
don't give a fuck.
His gun hot anyway.
He gonna do what he gotta do and throw that motherfucker in the sewer when he done.
Right,
that gun is never gonna exist again, and he did exactly what he set out to do, which was raise the murder rate, which means now your problem literally has not fixed itself, but you made it harder
but
for law-abiding
citizens.
Thing
with gun law. That's just how gun laws work in America. Like that's just how it works. Like I know today, like you feel me? I'm very very keen on my Second Amendment. You feel me? Like I fucks with my Second Amendment for sure. You feel me? So you feel me? I know today, like if somebody try to attack me and I pop him. You feel me? I'm going to jail, whether I'm legally carrying or not. I'm going to jail. You feel me? And then I'm
explain yourself.
After, but I'm going. I know that if you run up on me, I know I'm going to jail. You feel me? You going to hell, but I'm going to jail, and that's a fact. And you feel me? It's just up to you to fight the case after that. But they gonna take your ass to jail no matter whether you legally owning that gun or not. They don't really.
They might just bring you in for questions. They might not necessarily formally arrest you.
You getting locked up. You gotta fight. You
do absolutely need to fight that 100%.
When you go to take a CCW class, they will tell you this verbatim. They will tell you word for word. Like this is, you feel me? This legally allows you to carry your firearm. You will still. They tell you will still be arrested.
Like formally arrested. I can see them bringing your ass in the car. Really? Like a whole formal arrest? That's crazy.
Arrested.
I understand that though. That makes sense. You could be lying. Like
another thing on the guns. A huge part of owning a gun.
Formal arrest. Wow.
A huge part of owning a gun is also knowing how to deal with the police. You feel me? That's like the main part of owning a gun. You feel me? If I defend myself or when I leave here, God forbid, and kill somebody. Your interaction with the police, not just what happened, because you feel me, the victim or you feel me, the suspect, I would say, is the only people who really know what happened.
Right.
Your communication with the police thereafter is what is going to determine your freedom moving forward. You feel me? Like if you feel me, you argue, you riled up, you argumentative, that ran up on me, crazy, you're gonna go to jail. You feel me? If you sitting there, you calm, you zen, you like, man, this is what happened, blah blah blah. My life felt threatened. I pulled my firearm. I told him to leave, to blah, blah, blah. I tried to leave the situation. He attacked me. I pulled the trigger, called you immediately. That's different than you just wilding, you feel me?
Right.
Rah. He ran up on me. I killed him. You going to jail.
Right.
So that's another big thing they teach you. Like, so it really don't matter how you carry your gun, bro. Like, it really does not matter. The interaction with the police is really what matters. And ain't no fee or no insurance or nothing gonna help with that.
Right.
And shit, now if I actually do gotta use my gun, now y'all gonna probably raise my insurance. I'm sure, just like with a car, if I get in an accident, if I gotta use the insurance.
Right. What happens? Yeah. What happens if I fire? Like.
So shit, y'all. That's even another thought in your head. Like, damn, now my premium gonna go. You feel me? If I probably.
Now you're reluctant to shoot, but you put yourself at risk to die if you don't shoot. Like,
I'm saying, if you carrying a gun, you better be with the business. Like, you feel me? Like, when you deal with all that shit afterwards.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see what they trying to do, like you said, but I don't know, man. I don't know if this is gonna be like universally adopted.
Right.
We're gonna see how it go out there.
So do you think there should also be laws protecting the law-abiding gun owner, like
such as what? Like I fuck with like Florida, like a stand your ground type of law, like
something like
you
that.
don't gotta run, you don't have to run, like fuck running, you feel me? Like Florida, like there's no, you don't run, you feel me? Like stand your ground. Our law is stand your ground. If somebody attempts to do anything to you, it's up. You feel me? Stand your ground. Like it don't matter what happened. But like in Nevada, you feel me? We can carry and all that, but I don't know if we necessarily stand your ground. Like you can't, like you have to flee in any situation if possible. You feel me? Like your life has to be in direct, imminent danger. You have to prove that.
Right.
You have to prove that. Like what we feel is dangerous, different from a law perspective.
Right.
Like the police are law enforcement. They there to tell you.
Like if you shoot
me?
somebody in the back,
Even
if they started something, you're going to jail. Like you going to prison. Let me not say not jail, prison. you will be convicted of a crime if you shoot somebody in the back, even if they started it.
Oh, yeah, the risk we take, man. You carry about 6 and judge about 12. That's what it is. Hey, pick your poison, man. I'm pro guns all day, for sure.
Facts.
Do you think society, specifically American society, would be a lot more polite if everybody was a gun owner?
Yes.
That's just like I say yes. That's just like walking around. If you go to jail or prison. That's just like you walking around a bunch of other menaces. You feel me? Like it's gonna be respect off top of you. Like when you walk in the room with other people you know are on the same shit you on. That's a fact of life. When you walk in a room with a room full of people you know are also with that business. There is an air of respect that exists. I'm telling you this for a fact. There is an air of respect.
Agree, but that's not universally true. You can say it as a fact and it won't make it universally true for all interactions in the world.
Yeah, what you saying?
Criminals in jail commit crimes all the time.
Fact.
Just cause we both about that shit don't mean we finna respect each other and not do something.
Let me tell you something.
It's up. If niggas is really about that shit, it's gonna go up right then and there.
But let me tell you something. Yeah, that's if we.
Them being about it ain't gonna deter them from doing it.
Though. Yeah, I feel you on the sense. If it's a sense where I'm a gang member, I'm repping this, you a gang member, you're repping that, it's on site. Yeah, okay, that's one thing. But I'm saying, from a criminal perspective, you feel me? Wolves and lions, you feel me, prefer not to hunt other wolves and lions. You feel me? We're looking for prey. We're not hunting for another predator. We're hunting for prey. You feel me? If you in a room full of predators, it's different than if a wolf walk in a room full of rabbits or some shit. You feel me? Like, oh, I'm running it. Like nobody say nothing to me. Whatever. You feel me? Like I'm biting everybody head off as soon as I walk in. Versus you walk in a lion, you put a lion in a den full of lions, like. It's a little more cautious, you feel me? It's not immediate uproar, you feel me? Like
I see a slight difference between hunting and killing as it pertains to animals though. So I agree that the lions and the wolves aren't necessarily trying to hunt each other, but that's because they don't necessarily eat each other. If a lion
lions do eat each other.
No, what I'm saying, no. I'm talking about a lion and a wolf. I'm talking about a lion probably would rather go kill a hippo or some shit. But if he see that wolf, it's up. Even if we both, but what I'm saying is they are like, you are saying it as if they won't beef with each other, and I'm saying, yes, the hell they would, especially because they're predators. So the whole going back to the jail thing, just because we both predators don't mean we not gonna be up. I'm a lion and you a wolf, nigga. If I see your ass walking out, it's up right there. I don't care that you a wolf and I'm this, it's up right there. And so I think at that moment, like, just because people are both about it, that ain't going to deter nothing.
That's a fact. I'm just saying, because I 100% agree with you. All I'm saying is that the odds shift a little bit.
I'd agree with that.
I'm not saying it's null and void.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If the likelihood changes, yeah.
So yes, if everybody in America is holding the gun, and I walk around like that anyway, because I know I'm holding it, so I assume.
Or you better be holding it.
I've been in a situation where, you feel me, like guns have been pulled on me, and I didn't have a gun. You feel me? So you feel me? And that was just some bullshit. That wasn't because I'm never on no bullshit. Right. Like that was some bullshit on his part. But with that situation and just my overall thought process, like I'm walking around treating everybody with the utmost respect. Like you don't do nothing, don't bother me. I'm not gonna bother you. You feel me? How you doing? Yes sir. Yes ma'am. All of that. I'm out the way. Like so, yeah. I assume that
even in traffic, like. Somebody can pull on you in traffic.
Yeah. Doing anything.
Right. That's why I don't do no road rage.
Somebody in line.
Right.
McDonald's.
None of that. They tried to on my way over here. Some big ass white man truck tried to do crazy shit, cut me off, and he tried to speed. And then I got back in front of him. He tried to speed around. I'm like, bro, relax. Go about your day. Like go about your day. You feel me?
Right, you go nowhere.
Go about your day, sir. Please. It's not worth it at the end of the day. One of us is going to lose in a big way.
Facts, like.
Yeah, and I'm prepared. But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting being that San Jose was the first city to pass some legislation like that, where you feel me, they introducing gun insurance on its own, and then also the fee. I mean, the fee is going towards a good program, like you said, but I just thought that was pretty interesting. But Yeah, shit. Sports, music, which I want to start with.
Should we talk about Cordae? Tape.
So we was talking about Cordae tape. I don't know if that was the last episode or the episode before, giving it some praise.
Yeah.
And
what was it called?
From a bird's eye.
From a bird's eye view. Yeah.
I think the consensus in this room was that we all enjoyed it from the shit that we heard.
Facts.
But
Good
music does not always, just because you make good music, does not always translate to great sales. You feel me?
Right.
So I'll let y'all go first. Or else y'all.
I was gonna ask y'all a question. I was gonna ask if you're the label, what do you do? So we just discussed the features. He had Eminem, Lil Wayne, Gunna, Lil Baby, Roddy Ricch, Stevie Wonder. He had all of that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And for you to sell
this is a business.
20K,
You're in the hole. I don't give a fuck
easily.
how talented I think you are.
Yeah, you are in the hole.
I put this money behind you because of how talented I feel you are.
Right.
But at the end of the day, this is a business. I don't give a fuck how talented I think you are. I could be wrong. You feel
Facts.
Me? You can be the most talented actually, but if the market is not saying that, then I'm wrong.
Facts. Period.
I feel like he was projected to do crazy numbers if they were willing to invest
To go
those features, that production into him.
Right, you think he not producing none of his beats, somebody else is, so they paying for all of that.
I feel like they fumbled on the promotion because the only promotion I saw was he was on the Breakfast Club.
I seen him on the Breakfast Club.
And what was the other?
Bootleg Kev. And he announced it in December. I first heard he was dropping the album sometime in December. He only gave himself a month to promote it.
Freestyle on some radio station. I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't enough.
Yeah, like you need to throw him some features on someone else's album, like.
We gotta see him somewhere else.
Yeah. My opinion on it is, I dare say I'm not surprised. You feel me? Because you feel me? I'm not like a huge Cordae fan. Like you feel me? Like it's probably the first full project I heard from him.
Right.
But to me, it seems like he kind of inserted himself into certain conversations. You feel me? Like. His aura, his attitude is that I am the best. I'm that guy. Here. Yeah. I'm already here. Like I don't feel like he did the groundwork and actually proved to the masses that he belongs there. Like you can't. It's one thing to put yourself there. Like you should always think of yourself out.
Right.
For sure. But I don't know if the industry or if the culture ever. I don't think the culture has ever considered him to be one of those guys to where we think he's selling.
Right.
So I wasn't like I didn't have a prediction for how much he was gonna sell. I was sitting back waiting to see. Like I heard it. I knew it was nice, but I also know that he's not like marketed as like the biggest name in rap or nothing.
Right.
Like I didn't expect him to do 6 figures. I for sure didn't expect him to do 100,000 or nothing like that. Yeah. Like, but he put it the way he speaks on himself. Like I'm the GOAT. I'm the youngest, hottest nigga doing this. Whatever. So. I don't know. It's just how he portrayed the way he carries himself. You would think that he sold more, but I think that 20,000 is right in line where he actually is. You feel me?
I can see that.
In my opinion.
Do you think that the kind of environment is why he thinks that way about himself? Like remember when he first started coming up, it was right towards the end of the SoundCloud era. Lil Pump, Smoke Perk, Blueface, they were at their peak, but just starting to come down, Ugly God, all of them. Yeah. And then that's when I first heard of Cordae. That was like 2018, 2019. I had never heard of him prior to that.
Right.
And that was why this album he just dropped was the first one, how he just said, that's the first one I listened to start to finish. I kind of put him in that category of rapper, like, but he might feel like, I'm surrounded by a bunch of niggas that don't care about this shit. They not talented. They don't make better music than me, and they're millionaires. So yeah, I'm gonna feel like I'm way better than you because you're Lil Pump. I'm way better than you because you're Ugly Guy. And y'all are Lil Yachty. I'm way better than y'all. So that probably made him feel a little more bravado.
And that can be a fact, but the fact of the matter is, I'm not selling to the other artists. I'm not selling to the Ugly Guy.
Yeah.
I'm selling to the world. Right. The world is fucking with this wave of music. Like the only conscious niggas like he is that's selling albums is J. Cole and Kendrick.
Facts.
Other than that, the people selling large numbers are not on those super conscious. Like you got the South, you got all of Atlanta. You feel me? and you feel me, whoever else, you feel me, just selling big numbers. Like, it's not no really rappy rap.
Yeah.
Selling
I agree
huge
with that.
amounts of
That's probably what pushed him even further. The fact that, like, if y'all are some bum ass niggas and the fans love y'all, I feel like I gotta try even harder and constantly remind you that I'm better than everybody. You know, it's like the fans love y'all, and I gotta keep telling the fans, I'm better than him. No, I'm better than him. I'm better than him. You know, he probably feels that way.
Stop telling me and show me, like.
I agree with that. But I understand his mentality and
especially
approach.
coming into the game, your music output, I feel like, has to be like top level.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
more so than the quality. Like, you need to be putting out quality, but you need to be putting out consistently, letting us know, like letting us tell you, like, oh,
right. Let us give you the feedback.
Let us tell you that. You don't come in the game telling us.
Facts. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm the next J. Cole. I'm the next coming of this. I'm the best rapper.
Are you for you?
I agree.
Yeah. You feel me? Yeah, he came in the game. Like Naomi Osaka, you got the new tennis girl.
She made $57 million in 2020.
You came in the game and you had everything going for you to make this statement. If you would have did all of that and then been consistently putting out hits or like top tier,
you absolutely right.
Because I can't. What single can you name from Cordae outside of this last album you just heard? What song you know? Any song?
Well.
That's not on this last album.
Oh, that's not. Okay, I was about to say that Roddy Ricch song was a single. I heard that song.
What song you know from Cordae that wasn't on this album? Y'all can't sing not one Cordae song on the album right now.
That's a fact.
You gotta put in that work. You can't just come in and tell us you're the greatest, because a factor of being the greatest is consistency. You feel me?
That's very true.
It's not just
that's why people go against me when I say 3 Stacks one of the greatest. Where his catalog at, where his solo music at, where his, you feel me? So you can't. If that's the case, y'all going at me about 3 Stacks.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Cordae not about to come in here and tell us
and reshape the principles. Like,
out of here, Cordae.
No, I agree with that. That's very true. If he would have been a bit more humble, because he had everything else going perfectly for him. Like how we just briefly talked about Naomi Osaka, 57 million. She made more money than any other female athlete in the world, and in general is one of the highest people on Forbes list for the year. Him being associated with her, he was always at her tennis matches. Yeah. He did have a lot of hype around his name. The fact that he already had that, the music would have been the perfect compliment. Not your mouth. Just put out some great music and do it again next month and do it again next month. He had everything else going for him, where that is probably all he needed. You don't need to do nothing else. Just keep putting out. You don't even need to be making a marketing tour, right? We were just talking about he was on all these different platforms. You might not even necessarily need to do that until it's album time. Just right now, put out 5 great songs over X amount of time that people are gonna like all year. Yeah. He has everything else. And I 100% agree with that. That's a perfect point. You had it. But Academics was talking about this, where he said, because that's where I got the idea even. I didn't know he flopped at all until Academics spoke about it. And he said he sold 20K.
Academics big on the numbers.
Facts. And so he was talking about why. And he brought up that kind of similar to what you said, like he was inserting himself as opposed to being organically inserted by other people. And he brought up how, like, we don't know Cordae. Yeah. You don't have a story. He brought up, like,
know more than Namir and
right.
Almighty J. I know them more. Yeah, he brought that up. He said other rappers, like, they got a story. You watch them grow. You saw the hunger get built. He brought up. I think he brought up Nipsey, where, like, we watched them kind of go through a phase in a transition. He like with you just popped up and said XYZ, and you got the baddest girl. Yeah, like, who are you? We don't got no attachment to want to care about you. Yeah, when he said it, I'm like, damn, I'd never thought about that.
That's pretty much my point. I didn't even see that. That's pretty much my point. So like, who are you? Yeah. Who are you? Even on this album, from a bird's eye view, you're not even in the Breakfast Club interview. Like, you're not even telling us necessarily your story. Like, this is from the perspective of, like, your mom's, your brother that's in jail. Like, you still not even telling us you feel me? You still not giving us your story, where you're coming from, and, like, you feel me? So
and that's how you build an audience, like a consistent audience.
That's right.
Like, just finding people who have been through the same things that you have, think the same as you, all that. We don't really know about Cordae. Like, I'm not saying cause some controversy or anything, but there's controversy surrounded by everybody else, and that's kind of part of their identity.
Right.
Even if they move past it, he doesn't even have that. Like,
nothing. There's nothing there. Even his girl Naomi, you feel me? Her stories, like, we don't know much about her, but we know she don't like
who you are.
we know she don't like messing with the media. She got anxiety or whatever mental health problems. You feel me? Like so that's her story. That's her. We know that about you, but that's not what you're giving. You feel me? You don't seem like you're media shy. Like you come in the spotlight. You come on the media when you got music dropping. So we know that's not your story, that you don't fuck with the media, or you antisocial, you anxious or whatever. Like that's not your story. Like so you should be, I guess, in the media more. I would say, or like you feel me, like giving us more. Like we don't really know you. Like a lot of things. A big thing about music is relating to you. You feel me? Like we don't know you, bro. We don't know you. Like, who is Cordae?
Right.
Who is Cordae? No, that's a fact. That's a fact. What else? Did we have something else in music?
J. Cole and Benny the Butcher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
That shit was fire.
It was.
It was fire.
Go ahead, tell them what it was.
So they go ahead.
Well, you go ahead. You go.
The song is called Johnny P's Caddy.
Yeah.
Benny the Butcher go first. J. Cole go second.
Dropped on J. Cole's birthday.
Yep.
Whose song is it?
Benny's.
Okay.
Okay, so on his official, he has the page officially posted, the song officially posted on, I think, Spotify and SoundCloud. J. Cole was only credited as an actual feature on SoundCloud. I mean, no, not on SoundCloud. When I first found it, I didn't even know it was J. Cole was on it, because he's not even listed as a feature. I had to go find it on YouTube and was like, oh, okay, so like this is his song. But yeah, he wasn't even initially credited on it, but it is Benny's song. But Benny might have had the better verse. J. Cole had more. J. Cole, his was a little longer, and he had more. Well, I guess Benny probably had more bars. Yeah. He started it off with a bar when he said I was when I trained, I was like Rocky catching chickens. Like he started it off like, okay, this is how he finna approach this song. And what?
I disagree. I think J. Cole went in.
Do you think he watched him? Because I think it's close. I don't think one of them definitively had it. That's why I said Benny might have.
I don't think Benny's getting enough shine. Like
maybe 60-40 Cole.
Everywhere I've been seeing, it's just straight J. Cole. Like, look at J. Cole's verse. Like, okay,
Benny went crazy.
Credit the actual song.
Yeah,
like, what song is he rapping on? Let people go back to the song, because Benny did have a lot. I don't think J. Cole watched him. He might have had, I guess, I don't know.
J. Cole.
It was probably more passion in it.
I think skill-wise, they're equal, but people know more about J. Cole. People are going to focus more on J. Cole's verse.
We want to hear from him.
He's more relatable. Benny's wasn't all drug bars.
And he went last. He went after J. Cole. So I get how J. Cole's probably going to have a more memorable verse, but I agree with you that Benny did have some bars that people just like,
I think J. Cole had the bars that was more impactful. Like,
what did he say about Jesus? He said,
he said,
Jesus called me.
He said, Jesus called me for a feature. I'm probably going to hell.
He's
gonna kill Jesus.
He said if you want me on the song, you gonna meet the Reaper. Jesus called. I'll probably go to hell if you ask me for a feature. I was like, like that was crazy. He was snapping. He started his off crazy.
Nigga said something like my vibe, like Einstein. You feel me? Ain't no MC.
He brought up the theory of relativity. He was going crazy.
He went, that's what I'm saying. I can't say.
He said when I was born, the sky was falling.
His shit was so intentional. Like, all the bars was tying into each other, and he just layering shit up. I was like,
he said mine was crying, the sky was falling, God was angry, it was thundering. He was going crazy. That was wild. I was like, yo.
That's what I'm saying. I was hearing you say Benny was better. Like,
Benny said something about he walks the line with the feline's agility or something.
Yeah.
He said, "What I bring to Griselda,
that's what I bring."
Did he say authenticity or?
He said that's what I bring to Griselda.
I said, what didn't we?
Validity.
Validity. They asked me, what did we? I'm like, what didn't we? That shit was hard. That was hard.
He did. He snapped for sure. I'm not taking nothing away from him.
Yeah.
But you did not out-rap J. Cole.
That's true.
You did not
out-rap J. Cole. I've been listening to it nonstop. I probably need to really. I was listening to it off the strength of enjoying it, not necessarily who had the better verse.
Break down them bars.
Because I'm playing back what I know. Obviously, I don't know know the verse word for word.
It's
pardon me, but go ahead.
I was saying Benny more was like he got like one off like punchlines. J. Cole really stacking shit.
Yeah, that's why I was saying bars. Benny probably got it because the bar. You know, the bars are more exciting. Yeah. It's like ooh, J. Cole was like he was building something.
Bars,
yeah,
like, telling the whole.
You gotta listen to the whole thing to appreciate this. With Benny,
right.
you can listen to these 2 bars and go crazy.
Individually, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, a whole story. No, that's a fact though. But good music. You feel me? I'm happy for good music at all times.
Yeah,
you feel me? At all times.
J. Cole's been active.
Yeah.
Good song, man.
He's been active too.
And he dropping a new tape.
Which one?
Them niggas drop all the time. Shit.
I don't know if the tape is called Tana, T-A-N-A 4. Tana Talk 4. Yeah, that's coming out. I read about that.
Have you heard any of the Tana
Talk? I was about to ask, are those fire?
I'm gonna tell you.
I saw number 4 was coming out, and that's how I just remembered it.
3 or 2.
I think it was 3. Was the last one.
3 was the last. Yeah, that
Tana Talk was what made me. That's
really?
How I first
those are like his defining mixtapes. Like,
okay.
Tana Talk.
Like you know, every artist got like the Carter. That's his career is defined off of that.
The block he from in New York, in Buffalo, New York, is Montana. You feel me?
Like, okay.
Big drug dealing.
Right.
So that's Tana Talk.
Okay. I'm gonna check out all those.
Yeah,
you put me on him a lot. He definitely grew on me.
Tana Talk 3 for sure was the one. You feel me? Like
that's it. Okay. I'm gonna check that out. Text me that. I'm gonna check that out.
One song, Hove 97 or 97 Hove.
97 Hove.
I gotta hear that.
I think you've heard that song, but that's on Tana Talk.
That's on the Tana Talk 3.
Okay. Was that song Throughway Flow? I think that's what it's called. Throughway Music. I think with 38 Special.
That was on.
Joe Pesci 38 was on that motherfucker.
They have
I know that song. This one, Joe Pesci 38. I like that song.
They got collab mixtapes.
Oh, so that's on
that. That was on theirs, yeah.
That was hard. He said, "No, you
that's all rubber bands and weight. He was talking about putting coke in trash bags and like, bro.
Rubber bands and weight, bro. Text me these songs. I want to be able to.
That's all Tana Talk 3.
Okay. So that's all. Okay.
Just listen to that.
Yeah, he gained a fan out of me.
That's what put niggas on to that shit for sure.
He's nice.
Any other music?
Nope.
That wasn't it was like we for music for sure.
Sports, yeah.
We got one topic for Tom Brady. We got 2. But yeah, we can start with Tom Brady though. We'll get there. We'll start with Tom Brady though. It's just been like a wild day.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Tom Brady like early AM. Earlier than today. We get word Tom Brady is gonna be announcing his retirement, and then you feel me like it's like. They said psych, right? It was like a tweet that was deleted, and his pops came out and was like, Tom Brady has now decided that he's retiring. Like, we don't know what y'all talking about.
Agent came out and said it's
right. But now the story is running once again across ESPN. Tom Brady officially retired.
They got a special out on ESPN Plus already.
Dang, for real?
Yeah.
They just said camera crew was following him around
that's what I'm saying.
This year and last year.
Somebody fucked up the rollout. That's why they tried to backtrack it. Like,
yeah.
No, we're not announcing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, if Adam Schefter is reporting that, he's likely not wrong. Ain't nobody telling him that.
Wasn't supposed
Yeah. Somebody slipped up and said it premature. That's why I was like, he's probably premature. I don't think he's wrong. Nobody. That's why I said if he heard that, it's almost as good as Tom having told him himself. Like Woj, if we hear something, we know. We can hear Rob Pelinka say something. We don't believe it until Woj posted it. Rob Pelinka could come out and say, we're signing Kevin Durant to a 4-year deal. We like, nah, that's Kevin. We need to see Woj say it before any validity is given to this. And if he say it, it's like KD told Woj himself. You know, so that's why I was off the rip. I was like, nah, somebody, this isn't wrong. Somebody just spilled the beans too early. Because they said that he was going to have a formal announcement. And how this happened was it just spilled and leaked.
Right, it's supposed to be like a whole press conference.
Yeah.
Right,
He going to have his wife and
kids. That ESPN Plus show that's going to probably do a whole little rollout. But yeah, they messed it up. But it's all good. But so, just in general, how y'all feel about you feel me, his career coming to a close?
So I think he's undisputed, the GOAT. I think nothing more he could have done. I'm pro him retiring because there's nothing more for him to do that's going to change anything. Like, you could win another champion. He can go undefeated and win a championship. We already think you're the GOAT. You know, you already put Super Bowls out of reach. He owns every major important quarterback stat that actually matters. You know, so it's like you only are just going to put those further out of reach, but you got what you got. So him leaving, I feel like I told YT this. I said it was like Bron leaving the East. When Bron left the East, Toronto won a championship. The Bucks won a championship. The Heat went to the finals. Multiple teams sprung and was like, oh, that team might be good. The Nets might be good. The 76ers might got a chance. The Knicks look better than they've always looked. You know, like, it just changed everything. And I feel like that will have a similar impact with that. Tom Brady is the standard. He's the benchmark. And now that that's no more, I feel like new people get that opportunity to kind of pop up and shine. Like, all right, now it's them. Now it's them. They look good. I'm a Charger fan. Tom Brady beat us 3 times in the playoffs. 06, 07, and 2018. We hadn't been to the playoffs. When we went in 2018, we hadn't been since 07. We was in a drought. We get there. We beat. That was the year we beat the Ravens. Lamar Jackson first year in the playoffs. We like, oh, we didn't beat the Ravens. It's looking good for us. We had a great year. We run into Tom Brady. They kill us. Phillip Rivers throw like 5 or 6 I think he threw like 4 interceptions again. Like, it was like embarrassing. Like, every time we get there, he humiliates us. So and we are a bad team. I can understand teams that are actually good and kept losing to him. Teams that really had that shot of winning the Super Bowl or contending, we lost to Tom Brady. My team is, we ain't really had no shot at winning and we lost to Tom. And I'm like, I'm glad that nigga going like shit. We might got something in the works, you know? So I can imagine somebody who really like, oh, we was on the cusp. Now that he gone, they like, hey, man. We might need to make a call or two, get that receiver, get that old lineman, and we might be able to win a championship. Yeah. You know, like, him being gone changes everything. So many teams that are 1 or 2 pieces away probably are going to be legit title contenders off of the strength of that lack of talent being gone. Like, the Bucks not going, the free agents that would have signed there or would have re-signed probably aren't off the strength of him being gone. Like, there's a domino effect of him retiring. So I think the league benefits in terms of multiple teams having a chance.
Yeah,
this could be big.
It's all based off of what the Bucks do now, because they can either find talent that's equal to Tom Brady in some way, like maybe trying to get Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson to fill that void. If they don't get that, like, equal to that, then, like you said, all the free agents, Mike Evans, he's not gonna stay if it's an average quarterback.
Their whole team is free agents. All their best players is free agents. Chris Godwin, he hurt, right? But he's still a free agent.
The Buccaneers wasn't nothing before Tom Brady.
Facts.
Not gonna be shit after.
They formed a perfect team in the blink of an eye. They got rid of Jameis Winston and turned their whole
that's easy to do.
Reputation around.
You got Tom Brady at the helm. You feel me? Like, that's easy to do. Just as easy as they put it together.
It was a good team. It was just Jameis Winston. Like, he threw 30 touchdowns.
30 picks and 30 touchdowns.
But just because it's Jameis Winston, he also threw 30 picks.
He had the greatest bad season ever.
It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a lot of great talent in the league.
Facts. The league is in good hands. They won't miss time.
This playoffs been great. You feel me? This playoffs been great. You feel me? Shout out Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers as always. Pat Mahomes. Everybody, man.
I like that though. I like that. Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
I like to see a GOAT. I like to see a GOAT at that phase where we still appreciate him, but he isn't vital. Like Bron could retire right now. Bron fans are gonna be like, damn, the league is in perfect hands without Bron.
Yeah.
You got so many players that's like, you'll be an afterthought very soon. You know, we care about Kobe. Most of our remembering of Kobe is what happened. It wasn't necessarily his retirement. When he retired, we was all like, damn. When the season started, I remember when the season started, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this shit don't feel the same. I've been a not anti-Kobe fan, but I'm a Bron fan. I can't be pro-Kobe, you know? When he retired, it was like, this shit really, like, don't feel like NBA basketball. But eventually you get over it because there are so many other things to take your attention. I feel like Tom Brady is there. Like,
I still miss Kobe.
Yeah, of course we're never not gonna miss him, but I'm saying, like, from 2016 to 2020.
Right on cue with the throwback Kobe.
Yeah, facts. I feel like Tom is in that phase where it's time. You know, you could ride off, and you have given us 100% of what you were supposed to. And I feel like all this hype around Bron, like being the defier of Father Time, Tom Brady is in his 40s, legit. Played 22 legit seasons. Like, we should talk about him. You could retire literally having defeated Father Time. The fact that he obviously could still play at least 3 more years and could potentially legit retire, you probably would be the first person to beat
Tom
Father
Brady
Time.
played in the same time period of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron.
Facts.
Michael Jordan was still in the league.
That's GOAT. That's
the
crazy.
the first player to win a championship in 3 different decades.
Yep.
Tom Brady, come on.
That's wild.
And he better than people that came after. Like Peyton Manning got drafted before him, years before him, and Tom Brady put that out of reach. Like that comparison is out of reach. 5-10 years ago, that was like a legit. Woo! I'm a Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is my favorite quarterback ever. I've always loved Peyton Manning. I'm not no Colts fan. I've always been into with Peyton Manning. I love him. Watching Tom Brady though, it's like, oh, he really did this. You know, like he literally put it out of reach where you wouldn't even fathom questioning who's the GOAT. That's crazy to me.
So let me ask y'all this real quick. We got one more topic, so let me ask y'all this real quick. You say obviously he's the GOAT. You agree with that? He's the GOAT. Okay, now where I guess give a number where you place him on the all-time greatest athlete.
All-time greatest athlete.
He's not top 5.
What do you mean? Like
not athletic ability,
or
not athletic ability, obviously,
or like
I'm saying like athlete,
professional athlete. Yeah.
My name as it rings. You feel me? Like where are you on that list?
What do you mean my name as it rings?
Like I am talking. Like you feel me? Like.
Okay, let me ask you to properly answer that question. Give me your list so I know who the characteristics of those who are in that list. Because initially hearing it, I would say he's not top 5, but I was defining athlete a little more literal than you were.
Not literally.
Right. That's why I asked.
Like your play, like I would
the
say,
respect
like,
on your name.
The respect on your name, like
you
your impact on. Your
okay,
sport,
then yeah, he is top 5.
You feel me? Like your impact on your sport, your name. You feel me? Obviously, your brand that plays a big part. Dominance, right?
Yeah, he's top 5
for sure.
MJ would probably be number 1. Bron might not make a top 5.
You'd have to put Michael Phelps and Usain.
Yeah, that's why I said Bron might not make a top 5.
You saying, boy, and you gotta go Michael Phelps.
Yeah, you have to.
You gotta. You right.
They ran that shit.
That's 4 already. If we got MJ, them 2 niggas, and Tom Brady, that's 4.
Yeah. I might throw like a.
We got the soccer player. That's the most popular sport on earth. Word.
I'm about to say I don't know. Messi,
Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi.
I don't know. Yeah.
Neymar. Shit,
Neymar. Yep.
All of them.
Like, they more people watch them than anything else.
Shit. So yeah,
I mean, you have to go Floyd Mayweather too.
Tiger Woods.
Ooh, that's what I'm saying. So
Tiger Woods is
so where's time? That's what I'm asking. Where's time where you put time? Like
damn, that's hard. Serena Williams.
Y'all want to save that in the sake of time? We can say that for next week, or y'all.
What time are we at?
We on there.
137.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. We got one more topic.
After this?
Yeah.
What's the next one? Oh, the last one. Okay. Yeah, we can save that for another day. We can wrap that one up quickly.
So we can think on that.
Yeah, we'll revisit that. Yeah, I'm like, that's deep. We just named like 10 people right there. But out of not thoroughly thinking about the conversation, he probably is top 10. He probably is a definitive top 10, and one could maybe argue a top 5. But all the names that y'all just named, like, that's hard.
We're gonna come back with some lists.
We gotta have a real criteria.
On the next episode, we're gonna have a list. We're gonna make our own list.
We're gonna start
it
off with that too.
You feel me? We're gonna get deeper into that because that's a good conversation.
Facts. That's a whole podcast.
Right. So on the NBA side, I was wondering what y'all thought about Andrew Wiggins being named the All-Star starter. A starter.
How you feel about it?
Devin Booker.
Luka.
Was he was you know how the way that the thing works though is it's 2 guards, 3 forwards. He's categorized as a forward, so that eliminates a Devin Booker. That eliminates who else you just said?
You said Luka. I said
all those are guards. Towns will be a forward.
Who's the center? Jokic.
Yeah.
Bron and Jokic. They're the forwards.
The forwards for the West is Bron and
Wiggins, right?
and Wiggins are the forwards. Yeah.
No, I meant to say bigs, not forwards. Who are the bigs? Jokic.
Jokic.
Okay, yeah. So Bron and Jokic. That's what I mean. I didn't mean to say forward. I meant to say
those are literally the positions. Like Bron is a forward.
Yeah.
There are 2 forwards, 2 guards, and a center.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he was one of the 2 forwards.
I think that is very disrespectful.
What is the forward that you're replacing him with?
Well, based on rules, probably nobody. Like if you constrain to a given thing, even especially like we're in positionless basketball, but demanding positions out of the All-Star game. That's in itself a problem.
That's a problem within the format
Yeah,
of the All-Star game.
So his selection in general due to that, like because I can't think of nobody else that I would pick. Like I would need to pick another forward or another guard.
A forward.
Okay, so it wouldn't be a Booker, it wouldn't be a Mitchell.
Yeah,
None of them. You might have to pick him, but it sucks because nobody really cares about the rules. We know who should be in there and who should not be. I looked this up when it was confirmed that he was a starter. He's averaging less points, less rebounds, less assists, less blocks. He's shooting way worse from the free throw line. He's shooting slightly better from the 3-point line, slightly better from the field. That's his stats across the board, averaging 18 a game, very minimal other stats. In and of itself, the stat line by itself is not all-star worthy. Factor in the fact that you are underperforming, like where you're already underperforming on average, you're underperforming even worse than that this year than you were last year. So that's 2 issues why you shouldn't be an all-star, let alone a starter. Like in the rule book, okay, I get that. He can't be, other players are excluded from what he's being classified as. Right. But for the average fan, the average player, I know they all looking at that like, hell no. Hell no.
Right.
You deprived us of entertainment. Fuck the optics. Entertainment. You're going to get most of the run during this All-Star game. Devin Booker's going to be on the bench while you are in the game getting 15, 20 minutes. Like,
I just want to say,
you need to be on the bench.
Formally is listed as 2 guards and 3 forwards. So the center is not even.
Yeah.
Like Nikola Jokic for the West is labeled a forward. Joel Embiid for the East is labeled a forward.
Which is
so
crazy.
2 guards, 3 forwards. So just the Eastern starters are the 2 guards are DeMar DeRozan and Trae Young. Mm-hmm. The 3 forwards are Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. For the West, the 2 guards are Steph Curry and shout out to Ja Morant. Happy
shout
for you.
out Ja. That was
3
crazy.
forwards, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, that's food.
Hey, speak on it, man. Speak on it. And I think it also has a large thing to do with the market that he's in.
Facts. The fan vote is obviously why he got in. The fan vote is 50% of the vote.
You have a large number of fans in Golden State. You feel me? Like it's not so many people voting for like an Ant Edwards in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Even though he a guard too.
The fans obviously got him in, and I think that needs to be addressed. Like it needs to the weighting needs to be different.
Yeah.
If Andrew Wiggins, I'm not even mad that he got selected to the All-Star game, but that's a legit gripe. Mm-hmm. Getting selected in general, but the fact that you were a starter, that means it's the process of how you become a starter. The 5 starters are the 5 people that got more votes than anybody else. Like it wasn't like the previous 3 years where they got selected and drafted. The 5 people with the most votes in the given categories filled that in, and it's like the fans obviously voted for him,
right.
And the league has to look at that and go, okay, we got to do something different. Like that, it worked out in people's favor because remember Kobe got in that way where the fan he literally wasn't even playing. He was hurt the entire year. He got an All-Star nod. Then his last year, he was his retirement ceremony, and he got another All-Star nod.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, I was about to say that's different because that's Kobe. You fucked that up by letting Andrew Wiggins get that same type of cachet. Like you can't say it's okay for an all-time GOAT to get that kind of leeway, but we're gonna say fuck that a couple years later and let Andrew Wiggins get the same type of flexibility. Like
so
you have ruined that.
This is not a knock on Andrew Wiggins, more so as a knock on the league.
Yes. Andrew Wiggins can only go out and play basketball.
Right. Shout out to Andrew.
Yeah, shout out to Andrew Wiggins. I don't hate him or not. I actually, I've always loved him. I wish
for the Warriors.
Facts.
Like, shout out to you.
It's just what the league is communicating as okay when shit like that happens. You letting it be okay to underperform in almost every major statistical category from last year and be a starter in the All-Star game. And you were having worse stats than last year. That matters. You're not even. It's not like he went from averaging 29 to 27, and that's your worst stats from last year. You're averaging a teen amount of points to a less teen amount of points, a very small amount of rebounds to even less rebounds. You know, like that type of shit is like that's crazy. That's crazy.
So let me list I'm gonna list the people that the forwards particularly that came in behind him and voted in. Y'all tell me, I guess, who y'all would put there as opposed to him. So this is, you feel me, obviously not including the other starters who were selected, all forwards. Here we go. Draymond Green, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, and DeAndre Ayton.
They were who was left off?
Those are the people, all the forwards that placed under below him for the starting position.
You said Draymond Green,
PG,
Gobert.
Okay, PG is crazy.
Cat.
He absolutely should have got him. Cat is crazy. He should have got him. But if it would have came down to him or Jokic.
No, him or Drew Wiggins. They forwards. All forwards. These are all forwards.
Right, but
everybody's labeled as a forward.
Right, so they didn't just finish behind Wiggins, they also finished behind Jokic as well. Yeah. Right, so that's what I'm saying. They were kind of at a handicap because, like, a Cat is also a handicap. Fuck Andrew Wiggins, he might not have made it even if Andrew Wiggins had been classified as a guard, because he still probably would have finished behind Jokic anyway.
He would be the third player. It's 3-4.
Well, unless a PG got it. I was assuming PG got it. That's why I said that's crazy. Okay, he definitely should have got in over any other name. That's crazy. Yeah. PG been hooping. You think they let him? That his injury probably hurt him. He ain't been playing in like the last month and a half. So Kim gonna get those votes. Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Obviously, yeah.
PG been going nuts. I'm quick to critique him because he be looking like ass in the playoffs. This regular season, he was going nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Andrew Wiggins, though. Ain't no hate at all.
Yeah, it's not toward him at all. It's the structure.
Just as basketball fans, like I just feel like you weren't.
Yeah, that's why I said like we know
the premier.
We know who should be in there. Like,
right. You weren't the premier selection.
Yeah.
As a basketball fan, but shout out to you.
Right, he made it. He finna get an extra couple million for making hitting that incentive.
Man, hey, I go out there. I hope you go out there and do something. Go crazy.
Right, dunk on it in. You feel me? Make it show them why you should be here.
Right.
Go dunk on somebody.
Take all the criticism, whatever, the hate, whatever, and go crazy, bro. You playing this All-Star weekend. You need to play with.
Did y'all see they making a change to the
Rising Stars?
Yeah.
Bring that up. That's
crazy. Speak on it. I don't know too much of the changes. I just know that they making it.
They just got a new format to it. So what they're doing now is, I believe they're selecting 12. 12 might be the wrong number. 12 rookies, 12 sophomores, and 4 standouts from the G League. You feel me? 2 from the East, 2 from the West. And then I can't remember off the top of my head, but I assume they're doing like a draft type of thing, like the All-Star game is.
Yeah, I like that.
The draft. That should be interesting.
Yeah,
for sure. The Rising Stars.
I know a lot of high schoolers are going straight to the G League. So imagine going to the G League for a year and then getting selected.
All-Star weekend. All-Star weekend. Living it up.
It can change so fast.
Living it up. No, that's a fact. That's a big thing for the G League. Players on like two-way contracts.
Facts.
Get some real exposure.
Who do y'all think is gonna replace KD? They say he pretty much is a guarantee to not play. I don't even know the options. I was getting ready to ask you, Darius. Did you have a list of when you were showing who finished in front of who? I was gonna say was there a list of even the available options of who will play, or like, cause I don't even know the bench. Literally, only the starters got announced.
Yeah, I know what to look at.
I was gonna let this shit rock go for the sake of us shooting a podcast. He ain't took his eyes off of this shit. I was gonna let it rock. I looked at it when they were having a conversation. I was like, oh, okay.
How old is this?
This is the oldest baby. I was gonna let it go. This nigga got a 40-year-old forehead.
Y'all not telling me that's a child. More power to them. God bless.
You got a security.
What were you asking about?
Plot twist, he older.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
What was you asking?
I don't even remember, bro. I was trying to let them. I knew somebody was gonna say, so I was looking at it like,
for so long.
I wish we could turn the camera, bro. My bad. I fucked with the pod. My bad. I fucked up.
That was just mind blowing. Like, shout out to them.
That's crazy. I was asking who could replace KD in the All-Star game.
Oh yeah, who's the bench?
Shit,
Yeah,
shout out to
a leak reported that ESPN, no, the Hornets game accidentally leaked that LaMelo was an All-Star during the broadcast for the Laker game when they did the. I didn't actually see it live. I saw it on Instagram, but they showed during the warm-ups. They announced that he was a first-time All-Star on like a little banner.
Yeah, no, he made it. He not started. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Only
Only the starters has actually leaked.
He finished in the top 4 or 5
Yeah.
for the guards. But so
That's
people,
dope. Shout out, just like shout out to John Moran. Shout out to him too.
Shout out to
yeah,
Melo.
for sure.
That's crazy.
For sure. Gotta do that.
What, year 2, year 3? 2?
Is it 3?
Maybe 3. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, might be 3.
But so the people behind KD that are not starters. Jason Tatum. That's
He probably,
yeah,
yeah.
take that spot.
I didn't even think about that.
Jared Allen. Shout out to him for making it too.
Yeah.
Shit. Jimmy Butler, Miles Bridges, Bam Adebayo, Pascal Siakam, Nikola Vucevic. Shout out to Jared Allen, man. I'm happy to see
Man, he be balling.
He is.
The
man.
Cavs
Shout
look
out to the
good.
Cavs, right?
Yeah, bro, the Cavs look. Did you hear what Giannis said about them when they played them?
Um,
They lost to them, and he was like, "This ain't the Cavs that we done knew the
Yeah,
past couple of years.
no.
They hungry." Like
I don't know.
to hear him say that was like, "Damn."
Do you know the power forward for the Cavs? I forgot his name.
Not Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evan Mobley.
I think it's him.
Yeah,
The rookie of the year, yeah. Well, looking like.
I've been
He looked like it. Yeah, it's still Scotty Barnes. Yeah, you're right. It's a couple of them.
I've been hearing people compare him to Chris Bosh, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett
Rondo,
all the time.
yesterday, Rondo said he was one of the most talented rookies he ever played with.
That's
Like,
great.
if Rondo saying that about you,
Yeah,
that gotta make your confidence go skyrocket.
That's big.
that's
Hearing Rondo say
Rondo said that?
That do it for me.
Facts.
That make it official for me.
Rondo been in the league
said
since
that.
06, so that's what, 15 years?
He played with KD.
Plus-
He
Yeah.
hoops. Evan Mobley is a hooper.
Yeah.
For sure. Duncan on people.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, he been going
shout out
stupid,
to-
though.
Shout out to him.
Cavs are
For
in
sure.
good hands.
Man, they done finally got Chris Bosh to accept his bench role. Chris Bosh. Kevin Love. Why am I saying Chris Bosh? It's because you said it. I was Kevin Love has hit a 3. He has hit multiple 3-pointers in almost every game he playing. Bro, strapping from the 3. He's shooting like 6 to 7 a game, but he finally bought into that role. You know, like with the Cat with Bron, he's still trying to accept being a legit post player versus now I'm on the wing. Now it looked like he fully bought into that. He off the bench every game. He don't start at all. He come right into the game and immediately just let him fly.
Right.
He getting rebounds again. Like it's cool to. He not like the 26 and 12 he once was, but in the role that he is in, Kevin Love is still capable of being a very good basketball player. I think that is crazy to watch.
If he wanna be,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad he bought in because like it's like Melo. I think a lot of Melo's struggles early when he was kind of not an all-star anymore, it was partially due to his unwillingness to accept that bench role.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just the league. The league did screw him over, but initially he wasn't ready for that bench role. Whereas now he's like, okay, I'm still Melo.
Right,
I can
no matter
still
what
go
you
get
do,
25. Like that, and now
Just
it's
plug
changed
me in,
everything.
just
Yeah,
plug me in.
just
I'ma
put me
play my
in.
game.
And
I'ma
I
play
think
my game.
accepting that mentality, and then the step 1 is the mentality. Step 2 is actually figuring it out in game. Now Melo looking like a 6th man of the year every year. He regularly is going off for 20 points. He just had like 18 last night. He always hit multiple 3s. He still got the little bang man. You know, so like you go through that right, almost cross-eyed just now. Like hey, like you go through that willingness to change. Like it's always a benefit at the end. So that's dope that niggas kind of experience that.
Right. So let me just say that, just for clarity, you feel me, the new Rising Stars formats, 4 7-player teams are going to compete in a mini tournament consisting of 3 games, each played to final target score. NBA rookies and sophomores joined by NBA G League Ignite players will draft to determine team rosters. NBA 75th anniversary team members, part of coaching staffs for Rising Stars, televised by TNT. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
That's dope.
A whole little mini tournament. That's dope. That's dope.
I'm glad they changed to something.
Anything else y'all want to touch on?
Depending on if you want to say it for them.
Yeah, we can say that. We already did. Yeah, we can say that. So shit.
Yeah, shit.
That's going to be
Another edition.
Yes, sir.
Fire.
Yes, sir.
I always acknowledge. I like that we can immediately from episode 1 and 2 to now we kind of immediately snapped into it. Like remember when we was like. It was a 20-minute period where niggas had to build up to being able to start flowing and kind of being cohesive. Now it's like, as soon as we start going, it's an immediate like, huh, that's dope. We gotta acknowledge and reflect on stuff like that.
Shit, I'll take my flowers. Thank you. Right. Appreciate you.
It's all about growth.
Right. So yeah, episode 10, man.
10 it down.
Right, the decade edition.
Yeah.
We did it. The decade edition for sure, man.
Big weeks.
Yes, sir. There, Bella Flair. Want to make the lady still. They hate on me every episode because I just got bars.
What you say last week?
Look, you rehashing all
Nah, it was hard though. He said wrap it like a gift or something.
Put a bow on it.
Oh yeah.
It's a wrap.
But yeah, big week.
That was hard. Yeah.
Young Melly J in the cut.
The one and only.
Yes, sir. Another edition. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Family Footsteps Podcast on YouTube. Same name on the audio.
Everywhere.
All the platforms you could think of. Spotify, Apple. You feel me? Tap in wherever you can. Like, comment, subscribe. Share it. Of course, share it. You feel me? And just stay tuned for next week. Until then, though, it's the guys.
Oh God.
In the game. Peace.
Gang. Fire. Ugh.
156.
156.
No, it didn't.